Let's make sure this is yeah, there we go. Okay. Hey sexy souls, how are you all doing? Welcome to Weird and Woo Woo, where I'm weird and we all get a little woo woo, okay? We're gonna do an energy check-in for the weekend. I know it's been a hot minute. I don't know what my hair is doing. Anywho, I know it's been a hot minute. But family stuff and all kinds of different things. So um it's been the holidays. I hope everybody had wonderful holidays. Hope everybody is doing well. I feel like my camera is like 10 miles away, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and I was getting stuff before I got on. And so that's kind of like where I feel like I'm a little uh like because the energy is a little bit like that. Can I just tell you, it always be looking like I have white hair there and I don't. It's just the way the light hits like and I always catch it, and I'm like, "Oh." Anyways, okay. So, let me give you my spiel, and then I'll tell you what I was getting. You are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. Okay? Fantastic. Um, they're giving me other images. I'm like, I need to quit. Uh, I already know what deck they want me to start with. They kept giving me like sneaking off. Like there's this sneaking off energy. Maybe even getting away. But it's like sneaking off. So to me that just gives like the I don't want anybody to know that I am on the move or I don't want anybody to know where I'm going or what I'm doing or any of that stuff. So this is really far away from me. Hold on, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. It's so far away. I feel like I have a peanut head. Not a peanut head, like you know what I mean. Yeah. Um, okay. All right. I think that's better. I don't know. It feels a little better. So that's what we're going with. Like, when you're somewhere and you kind of want to like sneak off to a room by yourself, or like you're like, come here, and you're telling somebody to come along with you, and you go over and you have a conversation, like you're kind of like sneaking away from the crowd. Like you don't want to be seen. That's kind of what it is. But it's not like I feel like it's like a bit larger than just scurrying off to a different room. So, um, okay, all right. Um, there is a decision kind of energy, or like a precipice, I guess you could say. I'm not really sure. Um, gosh, words evade me today. Hopefully they come back, right? Okay, let's just go ahead and get started because I'm finding it difficult. And maybe this is true for whoever I'm reading for to articulate something. You feel it, but you can't articulate it. You feel it, but you can't exactly describe it. So, the sun was out, and again, it is not. It's kind of semi out now. I was really excited. Um, but it's acting a donkey. All right, that was fast. We've got inner power and trust the universe. Trust the universe. Okay. Um, by your own command, you brought yourself here. At this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. Inner power. I feel like that's mixed with like confidence and self assuredness and feeling well rooted in oneself. And then trust the universe. Intuition has wandered and led you astray. The timing's not yours, but the universe at play. Like, I feel as if it's like you're trying to ask when, where, how, things like that, and your intuition isn't necessarily answering you. So that's where intuition has wandered astray, and so they're kind of like by the way, the timing's not yours. It's the universe at play. I just had something with that. They said no. Okay. Uh, I don't know if there's some anxiety around not knowing the answer of timing or when is it gonna, like there's something your intuition's not answering you on something. And the universe is like, it's on a need to know basis. And you don't need to know right now. You just need to trust. But in this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. You have me going for golden universal. I keep feeling like a in my heart. 10 of Pentacles, Judgment, Emperor, Inner Power. I'm seeing the High Priestess here. It's like don't let anxiety or the wanderings of the mind or the ego to kind of like knock you off out of your well-rooted sense of groundedness, I guess you could say. Um, Stay steady is what I want to say. There's something about, but see, I just think you feel something. The Judgment card with the 10 of Pentacles, you're kind of like, this is a big decision, a big answer. This is I mean, we're talking about if I'm looking forward, it's like the remainder of the path. This is like it really has something to do with the path that you're on, where it's going and how like the longevity of that. Like this is a long-term future kind of long-term answer type of situation. So what star? We have three major arcanas out here with the 10 of Pentacles. You are obviously following the universe. This is kind of like being led. Kind of, it is being fucking led. Listen to me. You're following spirit's guidance. So when your intuition does chime in, and I think that might be the reason why it's like your intuition isn't going to chime in unless one, it has an answer, and two, it's time to chime in. It's not going to give you a bunch of stuff ahead of time and give you reason to kind of sit there and ponder, pick apart, mull over, talk yourself out of. Sometimes we can ruin shit when we get things too soon. Also, because that you try to interfere, and play a part in things that you have no business playing a part in. And so, yeah, this is like spirit guiding you along your path, following the North Star home. And it's like not acting until, or not doing anything until directed, until it hits, until it lands. Because it's almost like I think the water really talks about your intuition and your connection with spirit. And she's pouring the water on land. For Christ's sakes, get it on there. Hmm. It's difficult. It's difficult. You definitely feel left out. You definitely feel like you're lacking in something. It's like I'm left out, but I'm also Five of Pentacles is missing something. It's kind of a miserable energy to be in. It's a sucky phase in life, just being real. And it's really burdensome. It's a heavy time. And so naturally, you would want to be like, okay, win, okay, win. What's happening? Let's go. Come on, let's go. That kind of thing. I heard something's coming full circle. Something has to come full circle. Again, we have 4 major arcana. World card is about ending something and beginning something else, and closing of old cycles, opening of new ones. We have the Lover's card. That's the decision. So somebody here is being led to wrap something up so that something else can begin. And I don't know why, but I put this over here. This feels as if it's not the emperor. I think this is all what the emperor has to do. It's like, it feels like waiting on somebody else. Like when you feel like your life hinges in your experience hinges on the decision of somebody else or what somebody else is doing. We have the 5 of Swords with the Queen of Swords. There's a mental battle going on. Queen of Swords is ready to cut something loose, ready to be done with something. And it's kind of like I feel like I heard term limits, which is political, but I feel like this is like time limit. Like I'm ready to be done with something. I'm ready to cut it off. The 5 of Swords is kind of like in like sometimes winning out, but at the expense of what is the question? Like at the expense of what? Like this is the person, the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. Like I'm ready to cut something loose. I'm ready to act. I've given this a lot of thought. I see it how I see the greater picture, and you just want to cut something loose. You want to cut something loose. I think you believe it requires more of you than you think it is fair or necessary. I got the Strength card. There's just this it's unfair to ask me to have to be this strong. I don't know why I feel like someone is suffering right now. And it's almost as if it's like there's a level of because here's the fucking deal. If you're the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands, it is a motherfucking struggle financially, materially, within your 3D reality. Okay. That is a fucking struggle. And there's no getting out of that or what appears to be getting out of that. And if you feel as if your only movement forward hinges on somebody else making a decision, you're going to want to cut that bitch loose. Okay. You're going to be like, fuck this shit. So you want to check out. Like, why do I have to be strong? Because I feel like the emperor is a fucking emperor. They're not having to be strong. They're not having to endure the things that you're enduring. And who would ever want to wait around for somebody or something that sees it? Kind of reminds me of these corporations that there was somebody that came out in one of the interviews and said, well, it's a good idea if people go hungry because hungry people actually want to work. They'll be willing to work for less. This is like one of the CEOs of a corporation. And it's kind of like it's giving that dynamic. Like, who the fuck are you to withhold something and to like just take your sweet ass time on something and making a decision, knowing that your lack of decision is holding me in fucking limbo and leaving me in this space. And so like Queen of Swords is ready to go to battle. How what? Because the lion represents the rash decision of cutting something loose. You know what I'm saying? Of cutting this loose. And I gotta ask more about the Five of Swords because there's something going on with this Queen of Swords. There's a lot in her head, and she's like, you know what? I feel like somebody's dragging their feet over here, and it obviously impacts the Ten of Pentacles. While this Queen of Swords is sitting in the Five of fucking Pentacles. Okay. So it's like my livelihood, my sense of security is all right now hinging on what you fucking do. Because if she's waiting, anticipating, and thinking that something's going to work out, or something's going to pan out, or something's going to happen, she may be withholding from other actions. Because there's something going on here. Because the story behind this is like going to battle over something and coming out the winner. And so she may be feeling like, you know what? I'll actually be the winner if I just cut this shit loose. This person, this job opportunity, this situation. Because right now she's not seeing where waiting is going to help her any because she is stuck in the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Six of Swords. I mean, the battle in her mind is because if she gets this, hey there, if she were to get this, then it would be the boat to get her out of those rough waters. You know what I'm saying? It would be that. Like it would be her out. Six of Swords. It would be her out if it would only come through. But at this juncture, this motherfucker be waiting like it's not even funny. And it's like, it's cruel to be so careless to not realize the impact that their behaviors and their decisions make on other people and to leave somebody else in such a limbo. So she's highly debating, and that's where the Five of Swords is the I don't know, like it could be the thing, but why, but I'm also kind of like putting things on hold, waiting, anticipating somebody to make a decision and they're not. Um that's where she's swinging back and forth. And she's trying really hard not to make a rash decision, but also like feels like she's going to be on the losing end if she doesn't do something. That's what it is. If I don't make a choice and decision, I'm for sure going to be on the losing end. And that's just how it feels to her right now. As a thought, Two of Swords, told you. Contemplating this decision, going back and forth. And funny enough, in this Five of Swords, the two that he's holding that are upright are the two swords. The Two of Swords. There's one that's facing down, which is kind of like something that's not spoken or something that's not true. So there's a contemplation between two truths, but there's also a truth that seems to either be false or unknown. But she's trying to make decisions based upon what she does fucking know. But that's leaving her also in a stalemate because she feels kind of like, well, if I walk away from this, then there's no guarantee that I'll find something that gives me that acts as the boat to get me out of here. But also I feel like I'm doomed because I'm waiting. And who wants to wait for a situation, job, person, or anything else like that, where you feel like you're not of any kind of consequence or consideration to them? When you feel as if somebody can't make up their mind or make a decision in regards to you, why the fuck would you? As the millennials would say, um, it kind of feels like swinging from somebody's nuts a little bit. Like, I don't swing from anybody's nuts. It's why would you ever give that much power away? And again, the card is inner power. And that's what you're wondering. Am I handing my power over? Like, who does that? But it says, Spirit's reminding you, you brought yourself to this point by your own command. And at this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. Queen of Swords is like, I don't know. I'm looking at everything right now. And what I do know, the two swords that are upright, it's not looking good. But again, there's something you don't know. Okay. Eight of Cups. Like, there is a heavy energy of just wanting to walk away from something. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, from the Queen of Swords perspective, it is like she has more self-worth than that. And it feels very disrespectful and self-absorbed or self-centered of the Emperor over here to kind of just be they're so inconsiderate of her circumstance and her situation, and it's just taking their own fucking sweet time. Eight of Cups. I thought I wanted this, but at this point it is requiring how she feels to sacrifice self-respect, her own power, her truth. And we have the Ten of Swords. It's giving, and in this one, sometimes the swords are in the front. You walk right into that bitch. Sometimes it's in the back, as in you feel deceived, backstabbed, taken by surprise. Because it feels like whatever it is could set you up for the rest of your life, for the remainder of your life. It'll color the remainder of your path in your life. And can you imagine feeling like somebody's just dangling, like you're so. This is what it feels like. I'm so less of a person that you can't seem to get your shit. Like, are you kidding me? Why? Why is this hanging? Let's ask. Is it hang? Okay. Is the Ten of Pentacles at the mercy of the Emperor? Because I don't know how that could be, but like it's a perspective. It is what the Queen of Swords feels. But they did put it on his side, so it does seem like he's a gatekeeper of sorts. Is this true? Is the Emperor like the gatekeeper of the Ten of Pentacles? And like the only way to get to it is through Five of Swords. In this deck, it says defeat at the top. Again, it's how she feels. Like, he is the... Are we sure? And it may be because with the Five of Pentacles and Ten of Wands, there's no other options right now. Because it's like we have the Six of Swords, like, it's treating this motherfucker like they're the life raft for this person. That alone would make me whip out my Queen of Swords. Spirit, you ever put me in that kind of fucking position, I guarantee I will puncture my own motherfucking boat and let that bitch sink. Don't you ever put me in a position where I feel like somebody else has the leverage over me. I swear to God, I'm trying to understand Five of Swords, Queen of Swords. Twice. The Five of Swords came out with the Queen of Swords in the Golden Universal. It came out together in the Azathoth Tarot. But in addition, the Ace of Wands. I think the two swords that are pointing up, it in here that came out, in the Five of Swords. Both Five of Swords have the two swords pointing up, and the one sword. Am I saying that right? Sword. What is wrong with me? Pointing down. It's like trying to determine how to still be the winner, because in the Five of Swords, the story is like, two people are walking away in sorrow. The idea is they may feel like you have done something. Oh, I get it. They feel like they maybe feel like you have done something unfair or unjust, but it's one like somebody had to be the winner. Might as well be you, kind of energy, right? Somebody had to be the winner. But if this is associated with the Queen of Swords and she's like willing to cut, she's ready to cut ties. She's ready to take her sword and puncture it in their life raft. She's kind of like, or what she perceives to be the life raft. Because right now, as it is, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, she's not winning. So if she's going to go down, she's going to go down like in a blaze of glory, like how she wants, taking her power back instead of at the mercy of somebody else. So her Two of Swords is how do I ensure that that I get to win? She's really trying to figure that out. How can I what would make me the winner in this situation? Funny enough, in this particular spread or this deck, Queen of Swords is facing the Ace of Wands. New life. Like it's giving, because the sprouts and stuff like that, it's giving, bringing something back to life, a new life. Like when you propagate something, or like, and it's like a dead stick and you put it in the ground and like, woo, it flourishes and looks pretty and all that kind of stuff. But in her back being to the Five of Swords, which is the sense of defeat, she doesn't want to lose. And that's really what the Five of Swords is about. That's the debate and the like, I don't know if waiting while somebody is whatever the fuck they're doing to try and like whatever come to some kind of fucking decision or some shit. It's like, is waiting the better option, or is cutting it loose? Or is it a no-win situation? And it's all about taking your power back. And so if I'm not going to win and get out of this, then I might as well do. It ain't going to be because of somebody else. It'll be, it's like that. But there's a piece of information in both of these Five of Swords that's unknown. It's not spoken. That's not, what is that? Like we have the Ace of Pentacles right there, along with the Lovers. So what is not known or what is not spoken in this situation? Ace of Cups. Okay, so obviously someone's feelings with the Lovers. Ace of Cups with the Lovers. Someone's feelings are not being spoken, are not being expressed, are unknown. Someone's emotions. Okay, what is this unspoken, unknown truth? Okay, that's stuck in my hands. I kept Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. This is the one time. Remember, I told you Knight of Pentacles to me does not necessarily dictate the speed at which something happens or occurs, because the Knight of Pentacles is about integrity, where words, actions, and energy all match, where someone is authentically themselves, transparent, upfront, and integral in their presentation with something. Now sometimes that does require, okay, um, time. Others, it doesn't necessarily. In this situation, it does. There's something about whatever decision the emperor is trying to make, who he is the perceived gatekeeper of the Ten of Pentacles. Um, there's him ensuring that he does it in an integral way for like, he's in integrity with himself or with the situation is causing him to be slow. All I get from the Eight of Pentacles is like he's working on something, but I don't think it's work. Give us more clarity, please, about that unspoken, unknown truth. Hidden feelings, hidden emotions, hidden intentions. Something is definitely not being seen. What's that got to do with the Eight of Pentacles? This Eight of Pentacles, the damn cards aren't bringing anything out about the Eight of Pentacles. I'm asking questions. I know that there's something very prominent about this, but I can't pick up on exactly what. Like even if I do work, it's like it doesn't feel like it's that. If I talk, if it's putting in the due diligence, seeing something through, like all the or like staying committed to a path. Like I mean, I'm like throwing these things out in my head, and I'm like nothing feels like it matches the energy of this. So whatever's hidden is the Eight of Pentacles. It's a hint that he is working behind the scenes, that he is making moves, that there's some kind of like, this is like organizing, delegating, something with the Eight of Pentacles. And then we got the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower. There's some kind of tower that's going to, it's like something's going to break through. There's a breakthrough. There's a breakthrough. Eight of Pentacles could be because, like we said, he was having to wrap something up, or like there's a like wrapping something up in order to move to something new, like the ending of a cycle. Something else that he had to follow through with. That's the Eight of Pentacles. He intends to follow through, as evidenced by trying to wrap something up in his life. A lot's not shared. And we did see when I was trying to ask what's hidden, I mean, the emotions, the desire, the cup maybe that is on offer. And then with the lovers, it was kind of like Tower with the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a breakthrough that changes the energy up. What is that? Tower, something. Six of Wands. He's had to put time, energy, and effort into whatever this is that he has to wrap up, like to kind of like close something out. Six of Wands is a victory, though. And it's with the Five of Swords. So it's something that's unaware to the Queen of Swords. Yeah. It has everything to do with what he's doing to wrap something up, to move something along. Like he's completing something. He's following through and completing something so that he can be the Knight of Pentacles. Like a trustworthy. Let's pull a different deck. New Era Elements. Get the energy off of some of this. And again, we did see timing's not yours. And I guess it's kind of like, and he is getting guidance. So he may be guided by the universe to wrap something up thoroughly and completely. And so that he can come in a very integral energy where like his words, actions, and energy can all match. Where, like whatever he thinks, feels, or says, he can back up with action and that kind of thing. And so they're like, you need to finish this shit out before you move forward. What is the Tower? What is the thing that's going to help to move this forward? There's a Knight of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, the Universe, which is the World. So we have the World card 3 times. And the Lovers. The Nine of Pentacles is a very singular energy. But it's a sense of liberation and freedom. Tower moment may be the very moment he is free of something. Knight of Wands, he acts. The very moment he's free. It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking, but he may be concerned with, I think the thing you may not know is that he's equally as concerned with how long something is taking. Because at the center of this, again, when a card is the center card, it is the overall energy. In the Nine of Swords, which is anxiety, worry, that's the overall energy he has. Like even he feels like Knight of Wands, I need to move fast. I need to act fast. Like it's either as soon as he's free from something, which is wrapping something up, or some of the anxiety may come from the idea that as soon as something is done, he's being directed to act quickly. And he's not sure about that because it kind of feels, because again, that's what's being said with the World card. That's keep coming out, is the idea of like there's an immediacy of wrapping something up and starting something new. Without so much as a breather, it seems. Tell me about the Nine of Pentacles really quick. We have Five of Cups, which is disappointment, with the Seven of Wands, which is in this deck is called bravery, but it's really the sense of a sense of self worth, self respect, knowing what you want and desire, and standing in your power and executing that, and putting the self first. Really, is what it is. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, and this deck is called change. So we have some kind of disappointment, courage to make the change. He doesn't sit around once something is wrapped up. He doesn't sit around for very long. So the nine of Pentacles really is talking about being free from something. Like he acts as soon as he's free from something. What is he wrapping up? The fuck is this shit? I heard previous engagement. We do have the work card. And the Eight of Pentacles was not feeling like work. But this particular work card talks about contracts, agreements, legally binding things, and then judgment. Judgment, it is like the end of some type of a contract. He had to fulfill some type of a contract. He had to fulfill some kind of, he had to wait until something was completely resolved. And would not move until that was done. Because, with judgment, it's like the final decision. There's a finality to it. Something is final. Something is fulfilled. What type of contract are we talking about? Like, what is? Because there's either like there is like a work fulfillment, like something, or something legal, like as in divorce. There's that kind of a contract, like, because Three of Pentacles is that collaborative team. It's my commission card, so like you kind of like have to fulfill something until it's done. It really caused there was a major wait period. Something was unpaused for a long time. There was some kind of obligation he had to finish. Four of Cups, he couldn't move forward until, like, so even if the cup was presented to him by spirit, because like you're looking at the, like, I don't want to be here with the Three of Cups, but I'm not also acting on the fourth cup. So even if it was presented to him in front of his face, he was not acting. It took a long time to wrap something up or to fulfill some kind of obligation he had. Six of Swords again, with the Two of Swords. And in the Six of Swords with Rider Waite, there is somebody that's rowing the boat. There's two people in the boat. Thing I think the Queen of Swords doesn't realize, she feels like he is the life raft and that she's the only one experiencing something maybe difficult. Hers is the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. Like, I'm tired of having to do it all on my own. This is holding me up. This king has had a difficult time, emperor, I meant, difficult time wrapping something up and fulfilling some kind of obligation and getting out of something legal that was probably consuming a lot of his time, preventing him from showing up like the Knight of Pentacles. And maybe what she doesn't realize, it was out of his hands as well. But that spirit was directing him not to move forward on something, or to until something was completely wrapped up. And maybe Six of Swords is that move with the Two of Swords and the Four of Wands after, which is union or coming together or bringing something full circle, bringing something together. Mm, I think it was equally difficult for this individual, whoever the emperor is, to not go ahead and move forward before things were wrapped up, but it could have caused difficulty and problems with this coming together. The new beginning, if he did not fully see something through. And again, the universe and lovers, like once something is wrapped up, then he can make that decision. And he can move towards that. Okay, so so I guess we're going back to when you said yes, when you brought yourself by your own command to this moment in time, you were in really saying yes to however that needed to unfold. You started this with trust and faith in the universe, and they're asking you to maintain that. That's why the strength card came out for the Queen of Swords. It is the idea that you actually don't have anything to fear because you don't know and understand everything that's happening. Because if this emperor were to make a move before something's completely finished, wrapped up, it may hinder the beginning of something and things would not go according down the path or in the right trajectory or smoothly. Okay. So the idea was to wrap something up and that there were aspects of it that were out of this emperor's hands and that the queen is acting upon what she knows, her current circumstances, which seem disappointing, burdensome, very lacking in life. And because we have three fives here. Um, Five of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and Five of Cups. And given what she knows, anybody would be like, even spirits, like, I get it. I understand why you want to walk away, but we're asking you to have that strength, that faith that you started this with, where you trusted the universe. And the friendly nudge and reminder that the timing is not yours. And technically, it's not his. And really, it's not about, you know, divine timing, it's divine order. Something needs to happen in a sequential manner. So time is not bound to this. It's the order at which something needs to happen in order to ensure success with something. A divine order is how something has to play out. Anything else you want to share? I think spirit wants to hopes that this brings a little bit of peace to someone. You Things will come back into balance and you will receive what it is that you want and you desire. We've got King of Pentacles, King of Cups that came out with Queen of Swords. And there was something about the sneaking away. I think there's something about wrapping something up so that this person can move s under the radar of somebody. King of Pentacles and King of Water, or King of Cups feels this like the Emperor, well-rooted and emotionally mature, very intuitive. I get the sense that this Emperor is a little more in tune with their instincts and spirit than you may realize. So the Lovers now is out as many times as the World card. Um, so it very well may be about the union may be between two individuals in a love situation. But I guess the King of Pen or King of he is a King of Pentacles and a King of Cups. But the Emperor shouldn't move forward until he's capable and able to fully give of himself to this situation, to you, to the Queen of Swords. Um Spirit said they didn't need another thing getting in the way of this. So it needed to happen in a particular order to ensure that something wouldn't interfere, interject, or throw this off trajectory or course. Strength card again. Leo may very well be, and then the moon again. Again, unknown things. And the Six of Wands. There will be success. So they're asking for you to not fear what's happening, not fear when the timing changes, because the timing's not yours. It's the universe at play. So the universe is making moves. So it's kind of like it's out of his hands, it's out of your hands, and the universe is making move, requiring certain things in order for everything to fall into place. Um, they're just asking you to stand in your power and not let you think the Queen of Swords thinks that she's handing her power over to this situation or to this emperor, but really you're handing your power over to your fears. So, alrighty. Well, we're going to leave it at that. I hope the message finds whoever it's meant for. I hope that you have a fantastic, beautiful day, and I will see you guys at the next reading.